Hello, everyone. My name is Damalis Gonzalez. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am one of the social justice and peer educator community liaison interns this year for the Women's Center.
Hi, my name is Amara Sangopan, and I go by she, her pronouns. I am the graphic design intern at the Women's Center, and our partner AMC, she goes by she, hers, and she is the operations and facilities manager in our space as well.
Today, for this Love Your Body Day project, we have decided to focus on the implications social media depicts when it comes to define universal beauty standards and how that plays a role in the way people, specifically women and gender nonconforming people, view themselves today.
So we're going to be talking about the effects of social media and body image, specifically body dysmorphia. We're going to be talking about filters and their use of Eurocentrism and cultural appropriation in today's world. And then finally, we're going to wrap it all up with how to mindfully use social media and filters to positively love your body. So, a lot of different studies that we've seen throughout the years found the link between social media and body image, and unfortunately, it's a negative one. Social media has been such a huge part in our everyday life, and as a result, it's inevitable that women like us will be exposed to more and more unrealistic beauty standards. Social media, with the influencers and the filters that we're talking about today and celebrities, they're constantly affecting our perceptions of what beauty is and what that constitutes. And in relation, that kind of affects us and our body image and how we see ourselves. So it's so important for us to understand the effects of Instagram filters, so we can limit the societal impact it has on both our communities in general and also for our own personal health. So, according to the study in body image, 227 female identifying students surveyed, they found that the more time they spend on Facebook, the more they're concerned about their body and the way they look, because they compare their appearance to others on there, and especially their peers. Like, I can personally say that I do the same every single day, and it's still so hard, no matter how mindful I am, to step out of that mindset and stop comparing yourself to people. Um, Also, another organization called Project No. They are a organization which is designed to help people with addictive behaviors explore how social media can exacerbate eating disorders and may trigger or worsen certain genetic psychological predispositions. Demolish in the next slides is going to be going a little bit more into that, but we just wanted to highlight that in the beginning just to let y'all know. And then finally, cosmetic surgery has become increasingly popular in this past decade because of social media specifically. Around 30,000 procedures have been carried out last year just to enhance your appearance. So that just shows how much people are affected by social media just generally.
Yeah. I think when speaking about the social media and like the negative effects that plays into body image, a very important factor that often results from this is sadly body or disorders, especially body image disorders. And I think one of the most important and probably the most linked to social media and body image is body dysmorphia. And body dysmorphic disorder, also known as body dysmorphia, is a mental health disorder that makes individuals obsessively perceive or think about defects and flaws in their appearance. And, their flaws might not be maybe non-existing or, unnoticeable to others, but to them it is extremely visible and very noticeable. And so who does this affect? So body dysmorphia affects about 2% of the U.S. population. That's about 1 in 50 people. When we speak about worldwide, it is estimated to be around 8%. Both men and women are affected, but women have a slightly higher chance of suffering body dysmorphia. And the age onset usually begins during the teenage stage, but it can also be seen in young adults. Some of the symptoms of body dysmorphia consist of constantly avoiding social interactions, which constantly affects their social, work, and and personal life. Constantly looking in the mirror, changing, avoiding self-image, self-esteem issues, and it can go as far as inflicting self-injuries. Some of the causes are, neurotransmitter defects, low self-esteem, childhood trauma, parents who were critical of their child appearance. And I think, of course, the most important, that, at least in this conversation that we're having, is peer and social media impact.
So, specifically, how that ties into beauty filters and facial art, altering applications like Facetune, Photoshop, and more. So, an article in Times outlined how this unfavorable self-concept can lead to other issues because of an excess of editing software. Thanks to, like I said, filters, selfie-holics now have the power to alter their bodies and pictures in a way that's practically on par with makeup and other beauty products. And so they also went on to say that editing photos could lead to a false sense of control where users feel like they can alter their bodies to get more positive attention online. And this disconnect between the perception of themselves and reality increases the distance between what users feel and how they look at themselves in real life versus how they see themselves in their online persona. And it's so important to note that these negative effects on body image that is like exacerbated by social media, the consequences can be as devastating as developing body dysmorphia and all the symptoms that comes along with it. And so it's absolutely necessary that we all talk and have this conversation and figure out a way where we can mindfully use social media in a way where it doesn't impact our mental health or the way we see and love our body.
Yeah, and I think, adding up on that, sadly, cosmetic surgeries have risen, especially in this modern age where cosmetic technology has grown to be very accessible. And so these first couple of points Emma already went over, but adding on to this, in the U.S. alone, over 250,000 cosmetic surgeries, they increased in just 1 year, which is insane. Of the 17.7 million cosmetic procedures performed in the U.S. in 2018, 15.9 million were minimally invasive, including Botox and filters. Nearly 230,000 procedures were performed on patients from ages 13 to 19, and 831,000 patients were from ages 20 to 21. In a 2018 report by the ASPS, they claim that over 40% of plastic surgeons say looking better in selfies on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook is an incentive for patients of all ages to seek both cosmetic surgery and non-surgical enhancements, like Botox and filters. I think when speaking about social media and its implications, a lot of the aspects of low self-esteem and these pressures to sort of change your body image or your own self has to do with the continuous pushing of Eurocentric features. Media in any form has always been a platform which European features have been pushed to be depicted as the epitome of beauty. These Eurocentric features often consist of light-colored skin, smooth, straight hair, narrow noses, light-colored eyes, full lips, clear, smooth skin, thin bodies. Mediums like magazines and TVs, advertisements have always revolved around people with Eurocentric features, which have unconsciously moved with modern technology. And now with the usage of social media apps and factors like filters, which are often referred to as beautifying filters, they have taken a much more effect, or a hidden effect in the way they advertise these Eurocentric features. When we speak about Snapchat, which Here's a little video of how drastically, filters can alter your face. Snapchat, I think, is probably one of the first social media apps that constructed the normalization of these beautifying filters. And one of the filters that sort of come to mind is the flower crown. It lightens your skin, it widens your eyes, and narrows your nose. And sometimes you don't even notice that because, the pretty crown is there, TikTok is a much, newer mainstream app that has inflicted these beauty standards in a more, I guess I want to say accessible way. The minute you open your TikTok camera, you have this option to click the beautifying filter mode. And, this is not portrayed as a filter, but it works just like one. In addition to these two apps, I think Instagram has also been a great contributor to this issue. Instagram, we automatically think of the Kardashian effect, the Instagram phase, which include, aspects like clear skin, high cheekbones, cat-like eyes, long lashes, narrow noses, full lips, and aside from, pushing Eurocentric beauty standards, filters on these platforms also influence the normality of what we know as cultural appropriation or racism.
Definitely. So we have to think about where these trends come from and why this is now the standard of beauty. So the definition of cultural appropriation is the unacknowledged or inappropriate adoption of customs, practices, ideas, features, etc. of one people of society by members of another, typically more dominant people of society. So if we think about that, who is it? The Eurocentric features and the dominant people are, white, cis, gendered, straight people. And they're taking and adopting the features that they like and taking away the ones that they don't. And they're internalizing it as their beauty standard. And that's who they are. And so this is what internalization means. It's when a person has accepted society's beauty ideals and engages in behaviors to achieve that ideal, using filters, cosmetic surgery, etc. And appearance comparison relates to people evaluating directly, comparing themselves to others based on how they look. And internalization becomes a huge problem when the media is enforcing Eurocentric beauty standards, which do culturally appropriate features from people of color.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, automatically assuming that people with Eurocentric features are the, equivalent of beauty standards gives them the power to appropriate other identities and identifying it as, this new Eurocentric beauty. And it follows this ideology that, if white people do it, then, it must be beautiful. We are able to follow it. It also, it plays a lot on how many ethnic people and, other people of color sort of view this issue, that we don't look like white people look like us. They began to take our own identity and our own features and, giving it this, white identity and making it their own, and that is straight up just appropriating a culture. It isn't this new trend. It isn't a filter, and it can cause so much harm.
Definitely. So exactly it. It's casual racism when you pick and choose what is beautiful, and it's a form of cultural appropriation when white people disguise their whiteness through beauty filters or cosmetic surgery, and they claim it as that this is my natural state, my authentic form. And as a result, these influencers are fetishizing that word. Specific features that they deem as beautiful and leave out the ones that they don't. Like I said, so for instance, they want to be tan, golden, but they don't want to be black and what it means to be black in America. They want to have almond eyes and fox eye trend and things like that, but they don't want a monolid because they don't want the racism that is attached with being an Asian in today's modern society. In other words, they want to benefit by being exotic and beautiful to advance their interests, but not too ethnic where they're going to be a foreigner or they're going to experience racism that people experience every single day. And as a result, they live their life in racial ambiguity without dealing with the very real implications of being a woman of color in America today. And they just live their life casually through these beauty filters and extending these unattainable beauty standards to, young women today who think this is what the epitome of beauty is. And we're trying to, break that misconception down. And so, to wrap it all together, we're not saying that you can't love your body and use social media at the same time. You can do both, and they could actually help you grow to positively look at yourself in a new light if you use it in a mindful way. So, one way we like to advise you to is to change the focus of your feed. There's every day you can go on social media and look at another beauty influencer and compare yourself to them, but that's not going to do you any good. So we want you to follow people who inspire you, make you feel happy, make you laugh, make you feel good about yourself, and more. And so here are a few examples of people who I personally follow that I really recommend because I learn more and I grow from being on social media. And so Sustainable Girls at Sustainable Girl Summer, that's my best friend. She is a blogger who posts about how to be sustainable grocery shopping, how to live sustainable and cook sustainably without, losing the flavor. It's hard to be healthy, but still taste delicious. Follow her for the recipes. Drop the link. There's Puppystagram, literally just puppies. Like, there's nothing about it other than just adorableness. Like, you can go on there and just smile. Who doesn't like dogs? I don't know. Future Earth basically is an amazing blog site who they repost news articles or hot topics that's happening in our day and age in a beautiful, palatable way, which is easily accessible. Sometimes it's hard to just go read a newspaper or read articles and articles, but if you go here, it's right on your feed and you can learn something new every single day and learn about climate change and what's happening all across the world, etc. Female Collective, I love this one. It basically just shares quotes on ways for you to love yourself authentically, all your mistakes and all of your flaws and everything that encompasses you as a female. They celebrate it. New York Times Travel, it's quarantine. You can't really travel anywhere safely, but you can see the artwork that photographers go or did around the world and, experience a little bit of that through the lens of social media. And finally, shout out UCSD Women's Center. We try our best to be as inclusive and well-informing as we can. So go give us a follow as well. We just want y'all to remember to love yourself 100% and think critically about where these trends come from and how you're using it and what it perpetuates, because sometimes you may not know that you're harming yourself or others in the process,
Yeah, exactly. I think hopefully this conversation can spark more conversations in your life, especially with yourself. This is something that creeps up on you. It's not obvious, and a lot of people don't know that. And if we could inflict, that little insight and start a brand new conversation with yourself or people around you, then I think we've done our job. It's all we want to do, spread awareness, and hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you, this will also be an infographic. The slides will be available for you on our Instagram page, in case you want to go back and see our conversation as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and remember to love your body.
Love your body.
Period. Always and forever.
Always. Yes, exactly.
Have a good day or night, wherever
Bye.
time you're watching. Bye.
Bye.